Good evening. I saw your question on Wyzant, and looks like we're talking about the production possibilities curve here. For letter A, I went ahead and drew the PPC. Now, um, one thing to note is based on the table that was given, it looked like to me that the first column, I was assuming that the first column referred to pianos and the second column referred to CD players because pianos was written first, CD players was written second. For that very reason, that's why the graph is constructed the way it is. If those were reversed, then obviously the graph would need to be adjusted. But yeah, so they wanted all the points labeled. It's just as simple as creating your own XY axis with the first number being on the horizontal axis, second number being on the vertical axis. All 5 points are labeled. As you can see, this is not linear. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. It is a concave graph. Now on part B, when it asks you to show the opportunity cost of producing one CD player for the week. So if we were to produce the first CD player for the week, all right, so currently we're at 10 pianos, no CD players. If we were to produce that first CD player, it would only cost us one piano, right? So if we want a one CD player, you're looking at this particular point, we can still make 9 pianos. So the opportunity cost of that first CD player for the week is only one piano. However, we go to part C, as you can see, as we move up this curve, the opportunity cost of producing a CD becomes greater. So if we produced a second CD, then it would actually cost us 2 pianos. We went from 9 to 7. If we were to produce another CD, a third CD, it would now cost us 3 pianos. We would produce another CD, it would cost 4 pianos. So the opportunity cost continues to increase. And the second part of question C wants you to explain why that is. Why are there those differences in opportunity costs? So the primary reason for this is that in many cases, resources are not perfectly adaptable. So the example I always use with my students is imagine I had an entire land to grow some crops. Well, just the nature of land, not every piece of land is built exactly the same, all right? Or in this particular case, maybe when you're producing all pianos and OCD players, you're putting a certain skill set of employees on there, but as you continue to have to make more CD players, the skill sets of those employees start to become more and more noticeable, right? So you're always going to utilize your best resources first. And then unfortunately, you have to start using resources that may not be as effective or as productive as you would at the beginning. And again, going back to my land example, the best crops, the best part of the land is going to produce the most fruitful crops. Other parts of the land won't be as fruitful as other pieces. So naturally, I'm going to go to the best parts of my land. They get the best sunlight, the best water area, shade, whatever, to get those crops to grow. So the same thing here. When you produce things, you have, whether it's people or machines, not every resource is 100% interchangeable. And there's differences in skill sets and differences in productivity as you start to dedicate more resources to producing something different. Okay. And then part D, which point on the curve is the most desired one? Well, any point on this curve can be a desired point. If the question is specifically asking which point is the best point, that's actually a trick question. All the points are at the most efficient spot for this economy. Since they're all on the curve, every point is desired. Which point you end up choosing would depend on what society's preferences are. So if this were a chart where we had oranges on one axis and maybe machines on the other axis, there might be some societies that desire more oranges and other societies that desire more machines. So I hope this was helpful, and good luck. Thank you.